This was the first and maybe the only time I've ever heard the term Rump Rangers in a film, and I was like, oh, okay. Terry. Hilarious.
Rump Rangers, okay. They called the Rump Rangers. Da-na-na-na. That's what I got like in my mind now. It's like I'm like remixing a song, of course, because that's where my brain's gonna go.
Oh,
That's
do
really
it.
funny.
Welcome to Horror Movie Survival Guide, Disco Citizens, the podcast where gorehounds
and best friends Terry Gamble
and Julia Marchesi break down a different horror movie each week,
exploring a multitude of genres, subgenres,
and subgenres,
classic and cult,
international
and underground flicks alike, determining which films are the goriest,
and offering up horror movie survival guide tips to help you
stay alive.
Disco Citizens, are you ready for one of my favorite movies here today? Terry, are you ready?
I'm ready for your wheelhouse. I'm ready for your sweet little wheelhouse of all these incredible. We've been dabbling in these 1980s vampires movies that I feel like these are the movies that made you, Julia, a little bit.
Yep.
Like these built your personality. You're like dance number, check.
Yeah.
Silly quips, check.
Boys' thighs on display, check.
Boys in short shorts, correct.
Yep. And stripy socks and Converse. What?
Yeah,
okay. We're talking about we're talking about 1985's Once Bitten. The title of this episode is I'm Not Wearing a Costume. Tagline for this movie is A One-Night Stand with Eternal Complications. So this was written by Dimitri Villar, David Hines, Jeffrey House, and Jonathan Roberts, and directed by Howard Storm. And I have some delightful alternate universe casting for this one.
Yeah.
So it was actually originally called Nightlife, which I think is also a fun title.
Okay.
So originally they wanted Michael J. Fox for Mark.
Oh yeah,
I could see that. Yes,
totally. Teen Wolf for this, yes,
yeah. I see it. And then we had I want you to imagine these women in this role, because I was having fun watching last time and being like, what if it was Elvira, which originally was written for. We also had Morgan Fairchild could have been in there. We could have had Kathleen Turner in there. There was a musical version that Patti Smythe was going to be the Countess and Sparks was going to do the music, which is a whole version that I was like, I need that.
I want the Sparks version so badly, but I want it with Elvira. That would be like an insane like cavalcade of stars and goodness. I love that so much. But also Kathleen Turner, we just recently watched at movie night this movie. What's it called again?
Crimes of Passion, the Ken Russell movie. Yeah.
Thank you. The most
incredible,
slutty little movie that Julie has brought to movie night, I think, ever. Wow. So thinking about her in that part to this part also makes like seeing that trajectory of this era being like,
I could
see you doing a little slutty countess number as well. Yeah.
And originally Robin was written for Deborah Foreman, who was coming off of Valley Girl. And I was like, I could see that as well.
Yeah.
So all of these things make sense. So I have to read to you some of the international titles because they're really delightful. In other countries, Once Bitten is called Seduction Has Teeth.
Okay.
Vampires Forever. Virgin Boy Wanted, which is pretty great. I Love a Vampire. Just One Bite. Kiss Princess.
Okay. I'll take it.
Fun. They're fun.
I like it. I like Kiss Princess. That's cute.
Well, we should mention off the top, Once Bitten has one of my favorite 80s soundtracks. I have it on vinyl. I listen to it all the time. One of the songs that opens this movie, The Picture by Hubert Kah, is so legions beyond this movie. I cannot even tell you. Like, this movie's great and I love it, but it's not, cinema, right? Like, it's good. It's good times.
That happens.
But this
Sometimes
song,
great songs are from terrible movies, and I kind of love that. Like, even like certain songs that I didn't realize were from movies, like from the 80s, that were just like pop hits. Do you know what I mean? Though, and then watching these movies with you later, I'm like, oh, that's where that's from. Like, you know what I mean? Though, like catching up and having no idea. So, yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is Cleavon Little Sebastian the best Renfield?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, no arguments. I'm not even gonna fight you on that. I was like, if you're asking me yes or no question, that's a yes. Cleavon is just oozes fun, sensuality, good times, and like that's who you want. Do you know what I mean? Though, like you want somebody who's like down for the get down, has a sense of humor about it. Their little thing of him being the mirror for her, like to get ready, because when you're a vampire, you don't have they're dealing with the reflection. Each of these movies, the way they've been dealing with the reflection, I feel like it's so delightful to like see what fun thing can we do with the vampire who can't see themselves
Mhm.
in a mirror? Have a good friend who can do your makeup that you trust,
Yes.
right? Have a good
Yeah.
Judy, like have your makeup gay, like have your BFF, like have your friend,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
he's always everything's perfect, right? Like, he never fucked
Yes,
up this whole movie, like, he's set with
yes,
everything, and I'm like, That's pretty
yes,
fun." And I am glad that everyone in this movie is having a good time, and that bleeds through,
yes,
and I'm so glad. Like, they
yes,
see how silly it is, and they're willing to go
yes,
that length for it. So having
yes.
him with his every little gesture, voice, inflection, everything with him, I'm like, 10 out of 10, no notes, no notes.
So good. So, so good.
So he's gonna wake up
Oh,
our countess.
yeah.
She has a TV inside of her coffin, of course. She's already in her workout outfit, ready for her morning workout. I will
She's
say,
giving 80s hottie of the
yeah,
jazzercise/exercise movement, and it's also the incomparable, like, legend, model legend. She's like was, like, one of the it girl models, everybody. Back in the day, we had these models that were all, like, all-encompassing, and she was one of them, known for her beautiful little gap in her mouth, like, not like
mhm,
other people would try to fix theirs, but this is an era before that. This is before plastic surgery went super crazy too, so, like, everyone's got those nice size, 80s chest. I
mhm.
think it's perfect. And she is in her little workout gear looking hot as all get out. So cute.
So, I don't know if you know this, Terry, but my mom went to college with Lauren Hutton.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I didn't know that, did you?
No,
They
I have
weren't
to talk.
like buddies, but they like acquaintances, like they went to class together and stuff, and
Yeah.
so she always like would follow her career because she felt like she kind of knew her.
Oh
So of
my gosh,
course she
that's
wanted to go
incredible.
see this movie when it came out, and so I remember going to see this in the
Yeah.
theater
Yeah.
and falling in love with it. And my mom would to this day still sings the number from the dance, like the dance song number, still sings
Yeah.
that to me all the time. So like
Oh
this is
my gosh.
a very in the Marchesi family kind of movie, and Lauren Hutton's one of the reasons
Incredible.
why.
Incredible. That's so
There you go.
great. That's so
Marchesi
great.
lore.
Oh my god, I love that. I love getting some lore drops. And then, I love that actually wanna find out more from your mom now too about college and everything now too, and I wanna know all her stories. But that's always. So I love her house. She's got this very 80s castle that she lives in. It's like a kind of like modern architecture style. The staircase looks insane. Like it's got this like it looks like shards of just like metal, but like suspended between like clear, I don't know, fishing wire or something else. I don't know what exactly is suspending it, but it looks like the most treacherous stairs, but also they don't care because they're vampires and they're just like, you know, they're not worried about falling and like, eating it on the staircase, but it's incredible.
Yeah, the
Um,
80s architecture and the production
yeah,
design is over the top.
it's bar none.
And so
Yeah.
we find out her quest. She has to drink virgin blood 3 times before All Hallows Eve, or she will lose her youthful
Yes.
appearance as a vampire.
She'll
And
look her
she is
age, I guess, her 390 years or almost 400 years that she's lived. Yes.
Mhm. So she says that being a vampire in the 20th century is a nightmare because no one is a virgin anymore. So how do you find a virgin? Now we're going to find out. So, watching this now, I'm like, I was 6 when I saw this movie, I'm like in the theater, like, hey, what's up? Dance number. And now I'm like, they just talk about sex the whole fucking movie. And I was just like, where? Like it didn't even
Doesn't even register when you're not thinking about it. There's so many
no.
things like that, but I would just remember Madonna's Like a Virgin came out around that era too, and we were like, "Yay." I had
Yeah.
no idea what that song meant, like, literally no idea when that song came out, so
I just knew the
remem
Virgin Mary. So I was like, oh, cool. Virgins are great, right? Like everyone loves the Virgin Mary.
ancient
Like,
people go and pray to them. Yes,
yeah.
exactly. That's hilarious. Yes, yes, and she's drinking a Bloody Mary, so perfect way. And so, she's talking about it being so much harder and all this stuff, but it's 10 days till Halloween, so we know we got a countdown, so we're in a crunch. So it's go time. She's got to find her virgin real fast. And we're gonna cut to, of course, the most virginy looking boys you've ever seen. We've got young Jim Carrey and his cronies that are ice cream boys. Like he's an ice cream truck guy, and they work at a burger stand. And
Burger
so
Circus.
yeah, Thank you so much, Burger Circus.
Hmm. Hmm.
They literally are clowns. They literally
But
look like clowns.
yeah, but we should do a supercut from the place they work at, and don't tell them on the babysitter's dead, which also is a clown themed hot dog place.
Yes,
So
clown theme hot dog,
I'm
but
sure they're still
also
both in the valley.
I feel like killer clowns from outer space, like, you can mash in a
Hmm.
little bit of their little ice cream truck, little situations. So
Yeah.
quite a few little, like, I think, crossovers here. You could put together a cute
So
supercut.
Mark and Robin, his girlfriend, who's played by Karen Coppins, are in his ice cream truck at the point and making out, and she is rebuffing him again. But I will say she makes it very clear from the beginning. She's like, "I really want to, just not like this." I'm like,
Yeah,
just
not in this truck, not like this. This is not the place. But
surrounded by people.
it's one of those hard things when you're a teenager and you're looking for a place to go and you can't go to each other's house because it's like, no, I can't do that at my parents' house, depending on the house. And you can't really get a hotel room yet. Like there's a lot of stuff that's like it's kind of prohibitive. So it is a hard thing. So but Mark is losing it. He's very, very horny and he gets out of his car and the montage of all the other cars in the point, all rocking, don't come and knocking because all these cars are rocking
With the
is
oil derricks in the background pumping away. I mean, come on now. Just so fun.
the metaphors abound.
So, so they work at Circus Burger. They're talking about how they live in the valley. It's a sexual wasteland, but you know where we got to go, where all the freaky girls are. Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Being from Hollywood, I can attest the freaky girls are here. It's
Hollywood
true.
weird He said all those Hollywood weirdos, and he was like, "Yeah, let's get out there." And they're driving to Hollywood and seeing all the neon sign montage, and like they're just like little like do 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 like from it's like very Valley Girl kind of like adjacent to where it's like from the
Mhm.
valley down into the city. It's where it's wild. And so they do look like three virgins lined up nicely in the ice cream truck, though, like the way they're packed in the front seat all together on that front bench of the truck. It's kind
So,
of hilarious.
Skip Lackey plays Russ, and Thomas Bellatori plays Jamie. And Jamie kills me in this movie. I think he's fucking hilarious, and I'm like, why is he not in other things? He's so funny. He's perfect.
He's hilarious, absolutely, and so cutie, and they are really, really funny, and they have so many just ridiculous little, like, things that they're driving by as they're going into the city as well too. I was like, the sets that they set up for them, like this montage of, like, just random lady just, like, hanging out walking with the lion, like, there's, like, all these, like, people just, like Holly Weird is a
Mhm.
very stylized, if you will, version of Holly Weird, like a model on the top of a convertible, like posing by like a beachfront, looking like
Yeah, but you also,
scene.
how many times have you driven by something and you're just like, oh, well, there's Spider-Man talking to Jack Sparrow. Okay, like you just drive by and there it is.
Yeah,
It's
that's
that
true.
Hollywood life. That we drive by a film shoot or a photo shoot.
And
But
then they're by the wax
how
museum.
badly? Yes, how badly do I want to go to this phone date club? So bad, so
Okay, they
bad.
have the iconic Lips phones of the 80s in at each table in this place. And kids, if you don't know what a phone is, a real phone or like a party phone like this at these places, it looks so fun. It reminds me of like there was some, I think, episode of actually Schmigadoon even where they had like a 30s club that was like this, where people had their little
Oh,
like the old phones at the table to call each other at the table. I was like, ooh, that's like such an old timey like little device, and it's delightful.
but it's this kind of idea of like I would feel more comfortable flirting with someone across the room on a phone
Mhm.
than I would like walking over and just sitting at their table. There is a level of like confidence building before you meet them, which I think you can
Yeah,
just
then you
it's
can
fun.
also, like, kinda scope them and be like,
Maybe not
instead of having to walk all the way to the table and getting, like,
into it.
rebuffed. Yeah, it's
Yes.
like, "Oh, this is easy, okay." And, but also you could also maybe have some perception issues being from far away. Like
Yep.
one of our dear friends here, one of the his lackey friends here who sees a hottie and goes, "Okay, I'm gonna go over and talk to this lady." And it's like, that's not a lady." Oh, no.
She's so hot though. I was like, man, I'd stay there. Hot.
Correct.
Eye makeup
Correct.
going, the hair's perfect. Like,
Correct.
oof,
As
yum.
pansexual humans, we vote for it. But as this kid,
It's
this
true.
high school kid who is not quite ready to be in this club, he's
Yeah.
like, I thought you were a lady. Sorry, bye."
Mark gets a call from number 4 at the bar. We first see her from the back. She's got a backless dress, the long hair's flowing. Who could say no?
It's
And
Lauren
his
Hutton looking hot as heck, and the lighting is just perfect on her. You right?
yeah,
Yes.
when she turns around, he just like it just the stammering, stuttering, just him being so nervous. And we do get some of the Jim Carrey we will like know and love in the weird wackiness of it, but we're also getting more straight Jim Carrey than I feel like you see in a lot of movies as well, where he's not trying to be out crazy and funny. He's just being normal. And I'm like, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
It's very grounded, and I think a lot about that too, like, the kinda trajectory of his career, because obviously this is such an early, piece for him, and thinking about, like, what he's gonna go on to, it's like I was like, he did this so that eventually one day he could be in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Do you know what I mean,
Yeah.
though? It's like,
Hmm.
this is like, if you're gonna see some sort of through line of, like, between the quirky, the wacky, like, all the stuff that he kind of does, he's not doing it as well as he's gonna do later in life in this movie, I will say that. So if you're looking for, like, an amazing Jim Carrey performance, this is not it. It is very, it's very uneven, but you can tell he's learning, and so it's a very early, just an early fun, like, thing to watch him in. But yeah, so he goes over, he gets up his courage because his friends tell him, "You better go over there, dude," because he's like, "I don't think I can do it. She's so too hot to handle." And his friends like are like, "No, no, no, dude. Like, if you're gonna get like, someone's got to do this. Like, out of the team. Like, we're here on a mission to lose our V cards. Like, this is what we're here for, right?" Because he's hoping that maybe if he does lose his virginity, he'll have less pressure when he's back with his girl Robin. So he goes up to her, and he is already out of his league immediately. But she doesn't care because she specializes in virgins.
Yep. So she is used to the stuttering and stammering and finds it quite adorable. And they end up leaving together because Russ and Jamie end up going to another table, and a jealous husband comes in thinking that they are the ones that he's been cheating with. And so he brings out a gun. Chaos ensues, and Mark and the
And the
Countess
cops
head off
come.
in the limo. Yeah,
Well, the
cops come.
cops show up, like, they get raided basically, the bar is like it's and so the Countess takes this as an opportunity to be like, I'll be your hero," and rescues our sweet little Mark, away and spirits him, and even as he's like, "What about my ice cream truck?" They're like, "All right, don't worry, she's got lackeys with her, she's got, like, her people, her team of vampire coven with her to, like, drive
Mhm.
the ice cream truck behind the limousine,"
Well,
and
well, well, Russ and Jamie get arrested by hot female cops. So
oh, yeah,
there's
they
that.
get frisked, though, so at least he's like, "We're getting
Frisk.
frisked. We're still getting touched tonight by some ladies, these hot cop ladies." But it's also the, license plate is a vanity plate that says "Life sucks," anyway, on the limo. Anyway, I thought that was
It's the little details in
hilarious.
this movie. They're really like every tiny little thing is well thought of and delicious.
Mhm.
So they go back to her house where he says, "What a nice house," and she said, "Yeah, the last owner slaughtered his family and hung himself." And but she loves it. Like she says it like it's the best
Isn't
thing.
that great?
Yeah, it's adorable. So as he's very very nervously in her house touching her adorable naked painting and waiting for her to slip into something more comfortable, which of course is just lingerie, where he can't even form a sentence anymore. He's just rabbiting on nonsense.
Yes, and this is where we get that cute little moment where, Sebastian gets to be her mirror and stuff too, like, she's like, "Make me beautiful before I go back down there," and, "How am I
And has
doing?"
him come
And
out of the closet where he's always hiding, trying on her clothes.
she's like, "Out of the closet."
I came out of the closet centuries ago. Snap.
Snap, snap, so hot. And so, there's also, this whole crew of, a family downstairs in the coffin room. So there's a whole bunch of vampires down there that have all been turned. They were all virgins, I guess, when they met her. I think these are all her children over the years. And so you see all their different, like, what era that she picked them up in. There's like different, coffins and different styles and stuff like that too, depending on where they're from. Which gives you a real shorthand about each one of their characters. But why is
Yeah.
there always going to be a Confederate soldier?
Why
I'm
couldn't he be a northern soldier?
every time I'm like, why? Even in Twilight, I was like, you had a
Yeah,
choice. Why you gotta be this Confederate soldier? Anyway, it's upsetting every
I
time, but
agreed.
it's a
Agreed.
thing. But the rest of them are cool. But Mark thinks he's had a great night. He gets something happened. His pants are down, and he wakes up, and he's like, he wakes up to some orange juice in the morning, and he's sent on his merry way, and he's gonna go to school, but he's not sure if he did it or what happened, and he can't remember, and he's sad because he lost his virginity, but he can't remember if he lost his virginity and how it was.
Yeah. And she had bit off all of his buttons, which he's then talking to Russ and Jamie about the next day at school, not checking behind him to see who's sitting, listening to their conversation, and it is his girlfriend. And he just right out says what happened. And so now she is furious. She gives him the ring back. They are done, which I say, good for her.
Yeah,
Immediately just be like, nope, okay, out. Fuck off.
it's devastating. It's devastating. It's also devastating for him too because he was literally doing it because he was so frustrated and like he had been wanting like so much. So he wanted to also, I feel like, feel like confident with her too, and he just was feeling really unconfident, I think, at that point too. So not to blame anyone, but to understand that like it was a moment. So, he ends up just doing some weird behaviors around school. He ends up in a science classroom dissecting a frog, and this is a guy who, we had a moment before they saw him eat a burger at his friend's place at the clown circus burger, and he had it super well done, like, it was a hockey puck, like, just, like, crispy black, like, crunchy burger, and now he's eating things that are basically raw and, like, just going through his day, and, like,
And
he's got a thirst for blood.
I would like to shout out the lady who, Opaline Bartley, who plays the lunch counter later. She has no lines, but her look, I was like, perfection. That casting, perfection. So
She
good.
did it, and she's like, "You sure? Okay, here." Like, "Okay." He wants the meat from the back that's not the burgers that's are not cooked, so he's literally eating, like, raw meat for lunch.
His
Um,
dad catches him sleeping in the trunk in his bedroom. They say he can hear him pacing the floor all night. And so we have a dream sequence. We have
yes.
some delightful dream sequences in the movie. This one, we have Cleavon roller skating through mist with an accordion in a beautiful non-space. And Jim Carrey in this dream sequence doing the like debonair leading man like bit. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen him look hotter than this like 30 seconds or whatever of dream sequence. Like, I don't know what he's doing with his face. I don't know what he did with his hair, but he just looks different. I was like, geez,
Oh,
wow,
you
hi.
love guys when they vamp out. This is Julia
I do.
enjoying guys when they're
Definitely,
vamped out. Like, this
for
is
sure.
like you love that version of him. Lauren Hutton, like, lights a cigarette. They're having it's like the cigarettes, of course, are like symbol of the, like, old movie symbol of, like, we just had sex. Like, that's the
Mhm.
vibe. And so anytime we see, cigarettes appear, it's like, "Oh, somebody just hooked up." Um, and so we also see at the end of this dream sequence blood from her mouth, and he freaks out because he's like, "Oh no, like what does that mean? What happened? Did she bite me?" Because he's still not sure what happened that night. But we cut to our Robin talking to with her bestie, like being sad about like what had happened. And I love this kind of the setup, even like of the scenery, because it's like looks like they're at like a mountain out camping, but it's like the backdrop in their high school, like it's a mural that they're standing by, and just like the play on it, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like how scenes change in House Sue. Like you're like, wait,
Oh,
what's that
yeah.
backdrop? Why are we at this? Wait, oh, that's okay, that's not that. And so it's kind of like plays with like, just a little bit of depth perception in this scene, and I
And
really love that.
we have Megan Mullally as her friend Suzette as a very early role for her. So that's let's they make up. They make up.
Yeah, I mean, he's
She takes
like,
him back.
yeah, because she understands too. She's like, "I really wanted to too, like, I get it, like, we're both frustrated, but, like, the way you're going about it, like, it's not great, and, like, we gotta, come together on this." And then we get a little bit of his, like, little Jim Carrey, impressions, his little Jerry Lewis, little Robert De Niro, little, like, because he's looking like a little 1950s kinda greaser, that's that vibe of the '80s, of the '50s revival during this era. And they have their little teen sex talk, and it's pretty cute. Um, so yeah.
So Russ and Jamie have figured out where they're going to pick up women next. I have to say, this is not a bad plan. Where are women bored? In laundromats? And they're like, all right, let's go in. Let's find some ladies. I'm like, hey man, I am bored when I'm in a laundromat. If you want to come over and chat, that's cool because I'm just fucking sitting there. Sometimes they don't even have
Eh.
Wi-Fi. What are you doing?
Just waiting, just sitting there waiting. And so they go to pick him up, and e the lines that they have for these women, it's so sad. It's so funny. But also, I don't know, I wouldn't want somebody to be like, "I wanna fold your panties, lady," like, kind of is like how they're coming at it. I was like, I don't know if I'd wanna hear that. Like,
Yeah, they're
they
not.
they
They're
gotta
not. They're
practice, they're
definitely
not smooth yet.
no. But Russ has his line. I'm a mature person, and you're a mature person. So he
Mhm.
actually, the lady's like, oh, okay. I want to tie you up and whip you. And he's like, what? No. She's like, she said yes, man. She said yes.
He found a woman who could probably teach him way more than he could ever dream of. He found a dominatrix essentially at that laundromat, and I was like, "You missed an opportunity, my brother. You really did."
Agreed.
I was hoping I was kinda hoping he would go with her, but he was not ready for that yet. He's got a little more growing to do. We cut to Mark, at the mall, shopping where Robin works at this, like, unisex, whatever, like, clothing store. It's so
I
80s,
need
Julia.
I need it. Every time I'm like, I gotta be in that store. It's so good.
It reminds me of one of those stores that was one store in Little Tokyo, that one that was, like, upstairs, that was, like, all the
Mhm.
bright colors. It looks like that. There's, like, a
Yeah.
spot down in LA. Um, and it has that vibe where it's like everything's kind of very brightly colored and unisex, and like who knows what it is, and like and so she's trying to. Robin's like definitely picking out stuff that's more like in that preppy 1980s pastel kind of like white and bright and like baby blue and baby pink like kind of vibe, where Mark is now like, I like these black leather pants. I like this black thing. And he's just wearing all black now and he's going full vampy. And she's like, why are you picking these things out? That's not your style, Mark. But
If
he's
any
looking
boy I was
good.
ever dating was like, I'm gonna buy these black leather pants, I'd be like, sold, do it. Yes, please. Why not?
Please,
Why would you not want
put
that?
those on. Put those on for me. And then
Yes,
I'll take them
please.
off. Please. Uh, and no, that's essentially what Lauren Hutton's doing because she's in the
Yeah.
dressing room hiding, and she's ready to watch him change. And he's like, "Well, what? How are you here?" And she snuck her way in there, and she is not approving of these pastel things that are being thrown into the dressing room from Robin, and she's throwing them right back out as soon as she gets them handed in. She throws them right back out, and makes Mark look crazy because it sounds like he's talking to himself because we can't see her in the mirror because she's a vampire, and plays with all of that.
So she ends up getting her second transfusion, as they call it, and then leaves and is mad because Robin has more hold on him than she thought, and so mad she's going to shove a granny into a clothes rack. And I was like, she's just a badass. Give no fucks. Fuck you, granny.
She
Take her
does
down.
not care. She's like, "You're in my way." She's also been around for 400 years. She doesn't have the
Yeah,
same patience anymore. Her patience is
I feel like you
long
should.
gone.
I would feel like you would have more patience. One would hope. Like I got no patience to begin with, and I feel like if I was less patient in 400 years, woof. I don't know.
You know more about
You
people
just
at that point.
you
I was
just
like,
you just
"Julia,
shrug.
sorry.
No, you know I have no patience. That's why you're just making fun
I
of me. It's fine.
I love you," but I was like, that's the more you know about people, the more you're like, the more less patience you have sometimes. I think, that's I
It's
think
true.
like what old people are like, kid, ah. And she's that, right? She's like, get out of
It's
my
true.
way. And so she's like, my have my goal. You're in my way of my goal. Again, all the buttons are gone. She bites off the buttons again on his shirt and leaves them in the dressing room. And he's like, what? Like, but no one can tell what happened to him. It just looks like he like fainted in the dressing room. And so they're all worried about him. They think he's like got anemia or something. And his parents are now worried about him. And his dad is like, jogging and exercising. And he's like, yeah, trying to tell him about health. And this is a very 80s dad moment. And they're worried about him. They're trying to, the mom's like, can you talk to him? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he's, having trouble with his girl. Like, maybe you could help. And
We
no,
have a,
dad.
a, a little switcheroo moment where mom
Mhm.
has inexplicably drained all of the blood meat from the carton into a glass. And then Mark puts his orange juice glass next to it, but actually drinks the blood glass, which they all watch. And then, so that day, that was the morning of his day. Then he goes to work for the ice cream truck and ends up hissing at some little kids who want ice cream. So feels like he has to go to church, where he ends up confessing to a bum. And that does not help him.
Yeah, it's not a real confession. There's just somebody an unhoused man who's been living, I guess, in the confessional booth or something like that. So it doesn't work out well for him, and so he's having a very very hard day. Um,
And
and
a
he
hard night
also
because
has a
he's
dream. And
having
has a
nightmares all
dream.
night.
Yeah, he dreams he bites Robin in his dream. But then we go
And
to Halloween night.
the full vampire outfit with everything, the cape, the thing. Yes,
Yes.
Halloween night where he does not wear a costume. He's just dressed all in black, but everyone keeps saying that he looks, what a great vampire costume.
Yeah,
I'm
they're at
not
the
wearing a
school dance.
costume. Mhm.
Yeah, Julia's favorite thing.
So
Julia, it's a
it
school
is.
dance on Halloween.
I got to tell you, yes, school dance and Halloween, this dance number lives in my heart and will until the day I die. And I was very happy that one year I got to dress up my ex-boyfriend Peter and I as I was Jill, and he
Mhm,
was not wearing a costume as the vampire. And
mhm.
not many people got it, but the ones who did were like, hey, and see, that's all you need on Halloween, right? You need the one who'd be like, I see you. So
Mhm.
I have done it and I was very happy.
Julia loves doing a niche. I do love these guys his friends though doing niche. His friend trying to do Gandhi, but ending up being Yul Brynner, and just it's so upsetting. And the other one's Pinocchio, and they're all cute at this dance. And they even have they have a costume contest that they all are entered in as they walk in as well too. So, who's gonna win? I don't know. Just kidding. We
I
know
don't
who's probably gonna
know.
win.
Could it be Mark?
The one who's not
Countess
wearing a
is going to show
costume.
up. Yep.
Mhm.
Countess is going to show up, and they are going to have a large dance number between Robin and the
The
Countess of
dance
who gets
battle.
Mark. It's
Dance
dance
battle for
battle.
the man. Tuh, tuh, tuh.
I love it. I love it. hands off, he belongs to me. So she now she is outclassed again, the Countess, and as she goes out this time, she shoves a nun. So we have her just
But it's a
shoving
boy
folks out
dressed
of her
as a
way.
nun
Yeah,
in his Halloween costume, so not a real nun, thank goodness, but, she wouldn't put it past her, she'd probably do that too. Yeah, but it's so fun. We get like Michael D. Fox, Mark, Jim Carrey doing like Michael Jackson dancing and like doing like a little like looks like a little African anteater moment too. Like even I was like, oh
hmm
my gosh, this is giving like all of those like fun little 80s references. It's pretty cute. He's pretty smooth on the dance floor, as I'm sure you guys
yeah,
know. That man can move. He's got a real
yeah. Well, I mean,
facility of movement.
we see him in The Mask, right? He does like big dance numbers in
Yeah.
that one as well.
Yeah.
But yes, Robin also takes off most of her costume and ends up being a little leotard looking mighty fine. And when they go out, he runs out. They have a discussion in which he looks over and he is disappearing in the reflection. And at first, Robin doesn't see him and really thinks he's crazy. And then she does see that he doesn't have a reflection. And now she believes him. So she has to go to a bookstore for some vampire research. This is what we need. And we
Yeah.
have a bookstore owner who's got the goods. And he is
He's got the
very
stuff,
pro
even though he at
vampire.
first he's kinda like, silly vampire movies you've been watching," and she's like, "No, no, no." He's like, "Okay, well, here you go," and yeah.
Because he talks about how, the vampires have like a bad reputation, but really, if you go back and he's trying to like so tells her that there's going to be marks on his inner thigh because there's an artery there and that's where they get bitten. So she asks Jamie and Russ to check his inner thighs to see if they see anything. We see this locker room sequence in where this is the Julia trifecta. We got shorty shorts, stripy socks, Converse, which are my top 3 favorite things for boys to wear. So thank you,
Mhm.
Jim Carrey, for this. I appreciate it.
Oh my god, incredible. But the guys get ribbed in the shower because it, looks like they're trying to check out his junk because they kind of are because 'cause they're looking for those 2 dots, in his inner thigh, and they get heavily teased by all the other guys for maybe looking like they're trying to hook up in the showers, in the locker room in high school, the guys are mad because they're like and Mark's like, "You coulda just asked me, like, why do you guys have to look?" And they were like,
Yeah.
they didn't their brains could not compute because 'cause they're like, "She told us to look." So they were really intent on looking versus, like, even just having a conversation with him about it. But they
This
basically
the
true,
the so now
they
now everyone in school thinks they're gay and now they're annoyed about it. This was the first and maybe the only time I've ever heard the term Rump Rangers in a film, and I was like, huh, okay. Hilarious.
Rump Rangers, okay. They called the Rump Rangers. Da-na-na-na, that's what I got, like, in my mind now. It's like I'm, like, remixing a song, of course, because that's where my brain's gonna go.
Oh,
That's
do
really
it.
funny. Check, baby, 1, 2, 3, rump shaka. Alright, an iconic song for the '90s for the children out there. Um, so Cleavon is gonna come and, he ends up taking Robin, while the boys are hanging out and they're commiserating over by the, burger circus burger. The Rob Mark sees Cleavon take Robin away, and he's like, "Oh, now we gotta go chase them." So they're on the chase out to the mansion. So we gotta have our final boss battle at the big mansion. So, where there's, lots of bad things gonna happen. There's traps and all kinds of things happening where they've set up this thing called the unalivening area or whatever for him, where it looks like a weird gynecological experiment, like
Mhm.
chair that they're gonna throw him on because they need to spread his legs to do the final kiss, if you will. The final what is it? What was it called again? The blood draining,
Oh,
whatever.
the Holy Third,
The
she
Holy
says.
Third, thank you. I was like, there was some name, thank you. The Holy
Mhm.
Third. I was like, "Oh, it's a threesome now, cute.
Yeah.
Holy Third." Mhm. So,
And
Mark is
everybody's in
hypnotized
tuxes.
yeah, like, during this sequence, and yeah, they all look hot, all the vampires in Texas, yes.
So they had Robin tied up waiting for them as a trap and bring him into this, and now he is hypnotized. But of course, the good guys are going to get away, and we're going to have a big chase sequence. And we have Robin's iconic line: "Mark doesn't want you because you're mean and evil. He wants me because I'm nice and sweet and pure. So fuck off." Delightful. What a great line! Such a good line reading.
It's such a good girl moment, like, retribution moment, it's hilarious. Yeah, it's pretty cute. And, we are gonna the way they're gonna stop this, how do you stop getting eaten by a vampire that wants a virgin? What do you gotta do?
Like, not be a virgin anymore.
There
They
you
could take
go.
care of that real damn quick. So Mark and Robin are in a
Make it
coffin,
up in a coffin.
uh, while Jamie and Russ are getting hit on by the other hot vampire ladies, so everybody wins, right?
Yeah, they get to maybe be with these hot vampire girls forever,
Maybe.
potentially. We'll see. But that coffin is a rockin', don't come a knockin', and you know what they're gonna pop out of that coffin with? Some cigarettes. So we know the deal is done. That's our signal in
Uh-huh.
this movie that the deal has been done. We got some cigarettes. Um, and can we just shout out that they had twin vampires in this movie? They had like all these like different like fun little all their vampire. I
Mhm.
hate Ashbury like hippie girl vampire.
You got your,
Really
like,
fun
Jack the
little
Ripper
archetypes.
era
Yeah.
prostitute one. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
would just like yeah, this because the production designer has to, like, do every single coffin to be as that character. It's super
Mhm.
fun. So, sadly, the Countess, ages backwards in a fun makeup, number, and, Cleavon is saying, "It's okay. We'll get one tomorrow. Don't worry about it. It's okay." So, I'm glad to know that it's not permanent, that, like, they're saying, like, it can be fixed, it just isn't fixed
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. She's gotta find more virgins somehow, but she's like,
But
"Maybe we'll
Mar
go to Kansas or Nebraska or someplace,
Yeah.
but not LA, 'cause not at LA, there's no virgins left." So
None. So now Robin is super into it, wants to do it some more, but Mark says he believes he's created a monster and they're back in the coffin. It's just more fun. So I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with the movie yesterday and looked up the original script and alternate scenes and other
Ooh.
ideas that they had. So in the end, so in instead of Mark and Robin being at the point when they're making out, they're in the drive-in in the one of the scripts. So the end of the movie, they're back in the drive-in, and now she wants to go in the back seat, and Scrump, and he's like, "There's people watching," and is really nervous, and she's like, "No, I know, I really want it." So
Mhm.
in the back of their station wagon is a coffin, and she's like, "It doesn't feel right anywhere else." So they end up going back in the coffin, which I think is pretty cute.
That's funny.
There's also an amusement park sequence. So when instead of in the dressing room when she's not in the mirror, there's actually a hall of mirrors sequence where he can't see her at all in the mirrors. And I was like, oh,
Ooh.
that would have been really fun. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
And then there's also she also has in the script a nocturnal outcall business. So she has an ad that says complete oral satisfaction, an ad in the penny saver, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, we
she
know
goes
about
in
those
this.
ads. That's like
Yep.
old, like, Craigslist slash, like, the back pages.
Back at
Mhm,
LA Weekly, yeah, all the
mhm,
dodgy ads.
mhm.
So in she gets a call, she goes out to this guy's house, and he ends up being a vampire as well. And so it's like mistaken identity, wackiness, and then they both commiserate about how it's hard to be a vampire in the 20th century. So those are the alternate scenes.
Cute.
But so how do you
Alright.
survive once bitten? Not be a
Oh,
virgin.
yeah, you gotta do it. That's it. That's it. That's easy.
Yeah, but here's the thing though,
One we can
because we
survive.
know what'd you say?
One we can survive. No problem, no problem.
Yeah. But she does have girl vampires in her legion, right? So we know that
Mhm.
she swings both ways. Like, so
Yeah.
couldn't she look for a girl virgin? Wouldn't that be maybe easier than a boy
It
virgin?
feels like it would be easier. She could just go like, I feel like every time, like, when they're finally like, "Oh, we go to they go and get nuns," like, or whatever, like, I'm like, "It's a pretty easy fix.
Yeah,
We know they made a vow." Like, probably.
that's
So,
true.
yeah, that's so funny.
Okay,
Incredible.
so
Yeah, gore
some
factor.
gore factor. One, not enough blood to fill a Dixie cup. Two is a puddle of blood. Three is enough blood to gross out the average viewer. Four is a bathtub of blood. Five is run for the barf bag. This is a 1.5. We get him drinking a glass of blood and we get a little bit dripping on people's faces, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Not
that's
it's
it.
a horror comedy, so we're not it's light on the gore.
Heavy on the comedy, light on the gore, and also great on the production value. There's a lot of really fun little elements, and the scenery and everything in this is really, really cool. I give yeah, incredible. So it's chainsaws. One, if you're desperate. Two, barely qualifies as a horror film. Three, seen worse, seen better. Four, not too shabby. Five, fantasticorical. So four for me, not too shabby. It's so funny. You can see all the like cylinders that are they're like the genesis of what will become of this career, and also seeing like other people on the other side, like Cleavon Little just being incredible, and Lauren Hutton just being hot per usual. Um, it's a really fun, strange time in, like, cinema where it's like, I wish we had a little I don't know, I guess we're getting a little bit of this right now, a little bit of resurgence of a little bit of this kind of, like, funness, but I want some joy back in the films, and that's what I
Yeah,
love in this movie is the joy.
and it's a 5 for me, obviously, one of my faves, but I find it unusual, as I said. I think Thomas, Ballatore as Jamie, is hilarious, and I think Karen Coppins as Robin is delightful, and in fact, the audience responded so well to her that they changed the poster to make sure she was on it as well.
Oh,
So I think
wow.
they were really pushing for her to be a
Mhm.
big, and I don't know why not. I'm like, she's great in this. She's so funny and she's so pretty and she dances and like she's got at everything. And you're like, Hollywood, such a crazy place. It's not necessarily about who's the most talented or anything. It's just kind of chance.
It's a number of factors and not just chance. You just never know. I'm always like, who stopped her? What happened? You just never know. For every like amazing story, there's like a hundred, tragedies as well too. So you just never know. But she was great in this and so sweet, and just like she's like a little ray of sunshine, little sweet ray of
Mhm.
sunshine. And like sometimes when you're like the virginal girl character of the 1980s, he can be kind of cloying. And she's not that. Like she's actually
Mm-mm.
really fun to root for. Um, which is I also think was really great because sometimes they can I feel like that character can be troped as a nag, and I'm really glad that she's not. So
Agreed.
yeah,
So, thank you for listening to us talk about Once Bitten. Tell us your thoughts on the movie and what movies you'd like to see us cover. We always take recommendations, and I am on 2 other podcasts. You can listen to me talk about the Losers Club, talk about Stephen King, or JodoWOWsky, talking about Alejandro Jodorowsky. We're also on some other places where you can talk to us
all
and
over the internet.
buy
Yeah,
merch and all sorts of things. Tell us.
yeah. And then Julia also has 2 amazing films that I want to shout out to Out of Print. It's a documentary all about 35 millimeter and just life and death of Revival House cinemas. So check them out and go see something at a Revival House cinema this week in honor of Julia, please.
Oh, thank you. Yes, please.
Yeah, do that. That's the best way. Also, like watch her movie and then go to the cinema. I think that's what you got to do. And then also, she has a really great film. That's also because she is such a Stephen King head. Called I Know What You Need. It's an incredible film. Just anyway, check it out. It's based on one of she adapted a Stephen King short story. And anywho, what else? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Give us likes, follow, subscribes, all that stuff. I gotta say that stuff too.
We have
Hopefully new merch
Patreon.
coming soon. Patreon.
And a
Yeah.
Teespring if you'd like some merch as well.
We're on the internet. Find us. We love you. Have a great week.
We do. And we also love you, Sierra. She is listening to us, being our producer and sound engineer. Thank you for all your hard work. Have a good week, everybody. Maybe you'll run into a vampire. Who knows?
Oh my God, Julia's always looking.
Always hoping.
That's why you're in
Always.
Hollyweird. I know.
Yep. I saw this movie and I was like, where do I got to be for this? Hollywood. I'm
Hollyweird.
there.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening. Horror Movie Survival Guide is independently produced by Terry Gamble, Julia Marchesi, and Sierra Ryan. Hey, that's me. If you would like to support the show, find us on patreon.com/horror movie survival guide.